Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 6.
We begin tonight with breaking news. Police are on the scene of a murder in North Fargo and have just identified a person of interest. Good evening and thanks for joining us.
Now, the crime scene is at the corner of 4th Street and 12th Avenue North. Police are looking for a man, 35-year-old Ashley Kenneth. Here's a picture of him, Ashley Kenneth Hunter, and he has no permanent address. Valley News Team's Ashley Bishop is on the scene with much more. So, Ashley, what can you tell us?
Good evening. What I can tell you is police are still here processing the scene. It is a very active scene. They found a man dead on the floor shortly after 3 p.m. when they came on a call for a welfare check. Now, police say this crime, police say that this is violent in nature. They said it does not look to be suicidal, but they would not say what type of injuries or what type of weapon was used in this violent death. They also say that there is no public threat, that they think the man that has died knew his suspect, and that they were not positive if there was a forceful injury. Now, neighbors are concerned about what has happened. They say crime has been in this area and that this scene behind us, this apartment building, has seen crime here before.
We've seen crime here constantly. Last summer there was a lady getting dragged down the road, down 12th Avenue on the hood of the car. One of the other families, kids were playing outside and there was a lot of profanity and loud, vulgar language that the cops have been called.
Police say that the person that has been found dead was not dead very long. They think hours, not multiple days. Now, police are also looking for a person of interest as well as a vehicle of interest, and we'll have much more of that online. In North Fargo, Ashley Bishop, Valley News Live.
And stick with Valley News Live and valleynewslive.com for updates on this breaking story. And police are looking for a 2012 black Dodge Ram pickup truck that looks similar to this one here in this picture. And the license plate is KAT096. It's on your screen right now. You're asked to contact police if you have any information at all.
A lawsuit's been filed against North Dakota's governor, state school superintendent, and other state officials. Common Core, the federal government's control of curriculum, and the Thomas More Law Center claim that North Dakota's participation in the Smarter Balanced Assessment Consortium and its implementation of Common Core is unconstitutional and not only violates several federal laws. They contend North Dakota's membership in the SBAC violates the Compact Clause of the U.S. Constitution.
The judge in the Aaron Knodel case has dismissed the final 2 charges against him. Knodel, a suspended West Fargo teacher accused of having a sexual relationship in 2009, had already been acquitted on 3 of the 5 charges back in April. Last week, the state filed a motion to dismiss the charges against him. The state of North Dakota asked the judge to dismiss the case with prejudice, which means the state could recharge Knodel if new evidence is discovered within the next year. But the judge is dismissing the case without prejudice, and the Knodel case is now listed as case closed. Well, after lots of rain and thunderstorms, wow, we're finally seeing some blue skies and sunshine. It sure is nice. Let's head over to meteorologist Lisa Green with more. Lisa?
Thank you, Stephanie. It has quieted down significantly even today from the storms that we saw all this weekend and even into the early morning hours this morning. And here's the aftermath of that. This is a photo from Mahnomen from early morning hours when a semi-trailer was blown over onto an SUV there. This was sent in by Ramon Lopez from the Mahnomen area. Thank you so much for sharing this with us. Nobody was hurt, I might add, with this particular storm. You saw that shed that it was also destroyed, and that was because of a tornado. It has been rated an EF1. It hit shortly after the 2 o'clock hour in the morning with estimated wind speeds 90 to 95 miles per hour. The path length about 400 yards. So a short-lived tornado, but certainly caused some damage. And now things are quiet out there this evening. We're clearing out, temperatures in the 70s, and through the evening hours we'll continue to see some clear skies, and that will help us out for later tonight. We're currently in a geomagnetic storm, and what that means is a chance for seeing the northern lights. I'll have more details on that coming up in just a few moments.
What a difference a day makes.
That's for sure.
All right, thank you, Lisa.
A local internet provider is apologizing after its email server was turned off, resulting in a huge loss for some in the valley. One customer called our whistleblower hotline saying all his important emails are gone forever. 2 weeks ago, the email server used by 702 Communications was shut down by Google without any notice. A representative from 702 Communications says it's not their fault. They bought I-29 Wireless from Forum Communications 2 years ago, which set up the server.
This isn't anybody's fault, right? I know everybody wants somebody to blame at this point. And if I could take the blame and if I could fix it, I would, you know. But there's nothing we can do here. And so your best bet, really, you know, to mitigate loss of data is to have it in multiple places.
Gromit adds he's hoping Google will find a solution to get the emails back, but says it's difficult because they can only be reached by email.
Well, young people in the Northern Valley can take part in a very interesting hands-on learning experience this summer with law enforcement. The Grand Forks Police Department's offering the Explorer program. As Valley News Team's Neil Carlson shows us, it's an opportunity to explore a possible career choice while gaining some important lessons in life.
Every year, more than 10,000 Americans die in drunk driving crashes, many of them teenagers. The Grand Forks Police Department Explorer program is giving teens some hands-on experience with drunk driving this week.
Participants will take part in an event here at the Alara Center parking lot. They'll drive golf carts through an obstacle course while wearing goggles that simulate drunk driving. They'll also play the part of police officers administering sobriety tests.
So they will also be doing certain sobriety tests on the people with the Fatal Vision goggles on to actually see what the effects are and how it really affects your balance and your motor skills.
All of this also gives teenagers a glimpse into a possible career in law enforcement.
People that are interested, we kind of give them that heads up to say, hey, here's what you're going to be doing. Sure, you get to drive fast, sure, you get to turn your lights on, but then you also get to meet people. You get to get connections in the city just by encountering the public and just meeting new people, hearing their stories. My favorite part is meeting kids.
Even if kids aren't interested in a career in law enforcement, the program offers some great lessons for life. Officer Christopher says they teach kids to affect people's lives in a positive way, to leave people better than you found them. In Grand Forks, Neil Carlson, Valley News Live.
This program is free and open to anyone who's completed 8th grade up to the age of 21. The next class is tomorrow night. If you'd like more information or want to sign up, contact Officer Christopher at the Police Department during regular business hours at 701-787-8000. Some area labor leaders are urging Minnesota and North Dakota lawmakers to oppose the fast-track trade legislation. The American Federation of Labor says that it will hurt U.S. trade by stripping Congress of its power to oversee current and future deals. North Dakota's president for the group says the goal of Fast Track is to approve things as fast as possible with very little debate. The push for opposition comes just ahead of a U.S. Senate vote tomorrow. 2 vintage warbirds are visiting Fargo. The planes, a B-17 and a B-25, arrived this afternoon at the Fargo Air Museum. They are former bombers that fly from city to city, giving you the chance to see part of the weaponry that helped win World War II. Sentimental Journey and Made in the Shade are their names. They're part of the Confederate Air Force, which is a flying museum staffed by volunteers and headquartered out of Mesa, Arizona.
They say these planes get more love and attention than most passenger jets.
Absolutely, yeah. We're really honored to be able to do it, and we know the heavy responsibility we have to take good care of these national resources, so everybody can enjoy it because they belong to you and everybody else.
Ground tours and flights are available at the Fargo Air Museum. The planes are here through Sunday. Tonight on Valley News Live 10 at 10, we're going to introduce you to a World War II veteran from Moorhead who flew in one of the planes today, and the last time he flew at a B-25 was during World War II 70 years ago. A rare and incredible opportunity to see those. And I was right next to him. It was an honor. Oh, wow. Can't wait to see that tonight at 10. Well, later on Valley News Live at 6, how to get the most out of your container gardens.
And it's a great evening to go for a flight with drying and quieting conditions. A little breezy and temperatures pretty mild in the low 70s for our highs so far. We have more storms coming up in the forecast. I'll have details right after this.